A pleasant day, everyone. In this presentation, I will discuss about some innovative practices in distance learning. My discussion will tackle the challenges we met on the first quarter and we will be dealing on the next quarters. What are the strategies we can implement to address these challenges? How to do them? And setting a moving forward mindset. A quote from a global forum says, "In crisis, it is acceptable to have more questions than answers. In crisis, there's no room for not invented here. In crisis, we should all be learners." Hindi maikakaila na marami tayong hinarap na challenges sa natapos na first quarter. Pero normal lang na hanggang ngayon marami pang mga katanungan na wala pa ring kasagutan. Pero aminin man natin o hindi, dahil sa sitwasyon, marami tayong natututunan. Isang malaking katanungan ngayon sa setup natin ay kung natututo ba talaga ang mga bata. We are dealing with different situations. Given na may mga bata na walang gadget, may mga batang walang internet o di makontak. Maliban pa doon, may mga hindi natatapos at di nakakapagpasa. Yung natambak na ang kanilang modules na hindi nasasagutan. Madalas ang mga yon hindi na nga pumupunta para kumuha ng panibagong modules. May mga na-encounter naman tayo na para matapos lang, magulang na ang gumagawa lalo na sa primary level. We are also facing different demands. May mga magulang na gusto nila mag-online. May mga magulang na ayaw naman ng online. Puro module lang. Ang lahat ng mga iyan na naranasan natin noong first quarter ay maaari nating gawing oportunidad para bumuo ng mga makakatulong na strategies sa susunod na quarters. Now, what can we do with these challenges? Here are some strategies or practices we can do. First, plan and list some options. Kung na-identify mo na lahat ng problema na naranasan mo sa klase mo, magplano ka ng hakbang kung ano ang gagawin mo. Halimbawa, may bata ka na ang magulang nagsabi na hihinto na niya ang bata dahil di niya maasikaso. Alamin ang specific na sitwasyon at bumuo ka ng plano bago mo kausapin ang mga magulang. Dapat may iba't ibang opsyon ka na ilalatag para sa kanya. Siyempre, alam ko na sa isip mo ngayon, napakadaling sabihin pero mahirap gawin, lalo na kung ang magulang ay mahirap ng kumbinsihin. Pero sabi nga nila, walang mawawala kung susubukan mo. Next, be authentic. Simply put, teachers need to be true to themselves and also true to their learners. Attempting to incorporate another teacher's style will not always work. Hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon, kailangan nating i-adapt ang style ng ating mga kasama. May mga time na yung maaring yung style na yon ay hindi pwede sa klase mo kasi magkaiba naman ang level at sitwasyon. Yes, marami tayong nakikitang mga bagong style pero bilang teacher, ikaw ang nakakakilala sa mga learners mo, kaya ikaw ang nakakaalam alin ang mas akma sa kanila. Don't feel that you need to reinvent your teaching to be effective. Lagi ka pa rin magsimula sa nakasanayan at kaya mo na. Then unti-unti pag-aralan mo alin sa mga inilatag sa iyo na pagbabago ang kaya mo at maaari sa klase mo. Remember, use approaches that bring you joy as a teacher. Number 3, be familiar. Our priority in this setting should be, first, be familiar with our learners. Ano ang kaya at hindi nila kaya? Sino nagtuturo o may nagtuturo ba sa kanila sa bahay? Ang pagkilala sa ating mga mag-aaral ay makakatulong upang malaman natin kung paano natin mai-improve ang ating mga strategies. Next, be familiar with your lessons. Tulad sa module, bago mo ibigay sa kanila, nabasa mo na ba? Lahat ba ng andon ay tama? O sapat ba talaga yon para maintindihan ng bata ang competency? Lastly, resources. As educators or teachers, we sometimes want to try all the good resources we see, but this can be overwhelming for us and our learners. Mas maganda, alamin muna nating lahat kung ano ba ang kaya mo bilang isang guro sa mga resources na yon at kung ano ang mas naiintindihan mo. At higit sa lahat, alin ba doon ang kaya ng bata at may interes ang bata. Number 4, be simple. When it comes to remote learning, simplicity is often the key. The goal should be for all instruction to be as easy to understand as possible. Sabi nga, informal na ngayon ang pagkaklase kahit sa online para lang maintindihan ng bata. Kahit science ang subject mo minsan, kung mas naiintindihan nila ang Tagalog, kailangan mong magtagalog. Number 5, be flexible. Give the learners flexible time. Hindi silang lahat kayang tapusin ang ibinigay mong task sa araw lang ng schedule mo. Though may schedule tayo na sinusunod per day, huwag natin silang i-require na tapusin ang module na yon sa araw lang na iyon. Next, let them have flexible or variety of means in expressing their understanding. They're given options to show understanding. This gives the learner a sense of choice and control in the process. From an instructional standpoint, it increases the odds that the work will be finished and will be of high quality. Number 6, be concise. You should clearly communicate what needs to be done in a way that your learners can understand. Why is this so critical? Learners are overloaded with directions and tasks that must be completed. Imagine, nung face-to-face nga, simpleng instruction, paulit-ulit pa nating sinasabi sa kanila para lang maintindihan nila. So, therefore, it becomes even more essential to keep instructions extremely clear and simple. To assist with communication, video explanations of tasks are useful. Using flowcharts to emphasize critical steps, using bullet points to reduce the cognitive load of reading excessive amounts of text helps as well. Next, for online classes, design for interaction. Since children have short attention spans, distance learning comes with challenges to learner engagement, especially from home. A virtual classroom should include ample room for interaction. Interactive learning and instruction encourage students to pay attention since they are participating in a group event. Question and answer sessions, group discussions are all helpful in setting an interactive tone to your online classes. So hanggat maaari, iwasan natin ang pagbibigay sa kanila ng mahabang lectures, mahabang discussions. Mas makakabuti na bigyan na lamang sila ng mga activities na sure na ma-enjoy nila at makakatulong din sa pagsagot nila ng kanilang mga modules. Lastly, implement regular assessments and readiness checks. Regular assessments are very important. Why? First, learners who receive regular assessments will have greater self-awareness and improve ability to assess themselves and their comfort over time. Second, they'll have a strong desire toward high performance. As a quote says, he who knows better does better. Sa online class siguro, one way to perform assessment is by engaging them with exit tickets. Have students show their work or explain a key concept at the end of a lesson before letting them leave your online session. Then you can use that information to assess their mastery level and what type of support they still need. Ngayon ang tanong, paano nga ba natin iimplementahan ang mga suggested strategies or practices na mga yon? Subukan natin gawin ang mga ito. Mahirap, pero baka ang mga ito ay makatulong. Una, reach out to other teachers. Hindi ka nag-iisa. Yan ang laging nating dapat tandaan. You don't live in a vacuum, nor have you ever wanted to. You are not alone, and other teachers have faced similar challenges. Have you tried every possible solution, or are you just one step away from breaking through? Are you doing the right thing, or are you still working through your adjustments to education? All of these questions and more can be answered simply by being community with other teachers. That means that not only are there resources available to you, but that you can be a powerful resource in return. Reach out and teach out. Tulong-tulong po tayo. Next, be brave and just do it. Huwag matakot. You will make mistakes and that's okay. Transitions don't have to be perfect, and your students are always more forgiving than you realize, more admiring than you notice, and more thankful than they know how to express. At the very least, your class provides a sense of normalcy and structure. Lastly, have a moving forward mindset. Sabi nga sa isang quote, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Marami tayong naranasan ng first quarter, marami tayong hindi nagawa, marami tayong natutunan, marami tayong problemang hindi nasolusyonan, at marami tayong mga pagkakamaling nagawa na hindi dapat natin ginawa. Pero hindi na natin kailangan pang balikan ang mga yon. Gamitin na lamang natin ang mga yon para makapagsimula at magkaroon ng mas successful at mas maayos na ending ng school year na ito. Para po sa activity natin sa session na ito, paki-accomplish na lamang po ito sa bond paper. That ends my discussion. Thank you for watching and listening.